Hello everybody and welcome to Melchester Model Railway. Today I'm at Portsmouth Harbour travelling on a high-speed catamaran to the Isle of Wight, where I'll be visiting the Isle of Wight Steam Railway. From the ferry you get a great view of the hovercraft that ply their trade between the mainland and the island, in the world's only remaining year-round passenger hovercraft service. I'm about to dock at Ryde Pier Head, where I'll be catching an Island Line train to Smallbrook Junction, which connects with the steam railway. Ryde Pier Head station is at the end of a nearly half-a-mile long pier, which was first opened in 1814, with various additions being added over the years. I've a few moments to observe the hovercraft as I wait for the arrival of my train. The Island Line, which runs from Ryde Pier Head to Shanklin, is well known for its use of ex-London Underground stock, and these Class 484 electric units are no exception, being based on London Underground D78 stock, which was originally built in the late 1970s and early 80s. The interchange with the steam railway is at Smallbrook Junction. The line runs from here to Wootton, with its headquarters being at Havenstreet. There was a train waiting to depart, so I quickly had to buy a ticket and scramble on board, without any chance to see what loco was hauling the train. I was hoping it might be a Terrier, or even better, the Adams O2. Anyway, let's enjoy the journey through this lovely island scenery, and we'll find out what the locomotive is at the end of the line. Here is the train arriving at Havenstreet, where I got a chance to see that the locomotive was Hunslet Austerity WD 192, named Wagoner. Not my favourite choice of loco, but one of several Austerity locomotives at work on the island that I understand do the lion's share of the daily work. I have to say I was much more interested in this South Eastern Chatham Railway rolling stock, which was now in Southern Railway malachite green livery. Back on board, and we continue the journey on to Wootton. This advert in my compartment for Blüthner pianos gave me the idea to write my own piano music for this video, which I did, and is what you can hear tinkling away in the background now. This piece is called Mozart's Wonderful Railway. If you'd like to hear the whole thing, click the link to my other YouTube channel in the right hand corner. We are just approaching Wootton station, which is the end of the line. The line used to carry on to the major junction at Newport, from where you would have been able to catch a train north to Cowes, south to Ventnor, or west to Freshwater, all lines now sadly gone. Fortunately though, at least this small section has been preserved. Here Wagoner runs around its train for the return journey, which I will be catching and alighting at Havenstreet, to look at the other locomotives and rolling stock that are held there. Of all the various Southern Railway liveries, Malachite Green has always been my favourite, especially the sunshine southern lettering on this former South Eastern Chatham Railway 4-compartment brake third coach. I'm travelling in Southern Railway coach 2416, which was originally built in 1916 by the London, Brighton and South Coast Railway. Originally built as a 6-compartment brake third, the brake portion was rebuilt as passenger compartments by the Southern Railway prior to transfer to the island as a full third, number 2416, in May 1936. I've just arrived at Havenstreet, where I'll be getting off to take a look around the main heritage centre which is based here. There's just time for a quick peek in coach 4149. This Edwardian Guards van originally belonged to the South Eastern Chatham Railway and was part of their birdcage stock, so called because of the raised roof forming an observatory above the guards section, which I suppose must have reminded people of a birdcage. This, however, was removed when converted for use on the island due to the restricted loading gauge. Conversion also involved the loss of 3 passenger compartments in order to provide a much larger luggage van required to cope with the large volume of luggage on heavily loaded summer holiday trains. Wagoner is about to depart shortly, but before it can, we have to wait for the arrival of this approaching train. This is one of the island's other Hunslet austerities, number 198 Royal Engineer, built in 1953 for the Ministry of Defence. It's hauling a set of Victorian 4-wheel carriages built between the 1860s and 1890s.
Alright, here we go. Far away.
As Wagoner heads off to Smallbrook Junction, I head off to the carriage and wagon workshop and a look round the engine shed area. I immediately spot the Adams O2 tank engine under steam in the yard and head over to have a look. It's a shame I didn't get a chance to travel behind it today, as it had clearly been running earlier in the day. I was particularly interested in seeing this loco as EFE Rail have just released a new batch of 00 gauge models of this class, and in particular 500 limited edition models of this particular locomotive, number 24 Calbourne, the only member of this class to survive into preservation. Needless to say, I was keen to head over to the railway shop to purchase one of these models. Here is a picture of it on my Melchester layout, looking resplendent in its malachite green livery. Stay tuned for a future video looking at this model in more detail. In the workshop, this 1950s Parcels and Miscellaneous Van, or PMV, is being patched up and repainted for use as a loco store. The Isle of Wight Steam Railway purchased a lot of these vans for use as underframes for four-wheel coaches. Originally known as PLVs, or passenger luggage vans, they were designed to run in passenger trains. By the time I came to edit this video, the paint job had been completed. This Barclay 060 tank engine is currently on static display. Built to order in 1918 for the London Sulphide Corporation, Ajax was sent to Persia in the service of the Anglo-Persian Oil Company, before returning to South Wales, working at an oil refinery near Swansea. This still from the opening title sequence of this video shows many of the Southern Railway 5 and 8 plank open freight wagons in use on my layout, so it was nice to see examples of the real thing here on the Isle of Wight. This is a 10-ton 5-plank wagon, and next to it the larger 8-plank wagon with the later, smaller Southern Railway lettering. Here's a clip of them at work on my layout. This former LBSCR 10-ton cattle wagon was rebuilt in 1935 as a covered goods by planking over the open portions of the sides, and used principally for passenger luggage. It sits behind Terrier locomotive number 11, which again is nice to see, as I have a model of this engine in its original guise as number 40, Brighton, arguably the most famous terrier of them all. It was built in 1878 and was selected by her designer William Stroudley to represent the LBSCR at the Paris exhibition of that year. Here's a quick scene of it running on my railway. The London, Brighton and South Coast Railway 10-ton goods van saw extensive service on the Isle of Wight. However, none were saved for preservation, and only 2 mainland examples were known to exist, this one being purchased from the Kent and East Sussex Railway to add to the collection here on the Isle of Wight. The 10-ton single bolster wagon was built by the LBSCR. They were used on the island from around 1928 by the Engineers Department at Newport. This 5-ton 6-wheel crane was purchased by the Isle of Wight Central Railway from the Midland Railway in 1912. Its match wagon is of LSWR construction. This is Drury Railcar number 2. One of the petrol-driven trams that ran on Ryde Pier from 1927, after the Siemens electric power system was abandoned in favour of petrol-engined railcars. This grounded coach body has been set up as a home as might be found in the 1930s. It gives a glimpse of what life might have been like and the living conditions for someone like Dan in the film The Titfield Thunderbolt. Well, it was time to board my train back to Smallbrook Junction for the return home. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this visit to the Isle of Wight Steam Railway. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.